Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the BTCC support race series on Project Cars 2. This is round 4 of this championship, the special event, race 4 at Oulton Park Island circuit. And we're going to take you through the grid then. So it is Johnny McMullen who takes pole position in this race with his teammate Bradders alongside him, so hopefully no contact this time. NRP is 3rd, Bidzster 4th, then in 5th it is Keith, 6th is Stevie, 7th is TY, 8th is Video, 9th is Neil Farmack, and Blakeney draws the back of the grid again. Not good luck tonight for Blakeney as we go on with this race then. So here we go, ready to start this race. And away we go. Bradders and NRP make brilliant getaways there towards Old Hall. Bradders will take the lead into turn 1. NRP goes alongside Johnny McMullen in towards Old Hall. Through, there we go. And NRP and Johnny side by side down towards Cascades. This could end in tears. Down towards Cascades we go. NRP takes the position from Johnny. Down towards Cascades we go. Bidzster settles for 4th. Further back we've got Stevie Neal and everyone else close together as we go down towards the hairpin then. Bradders still in the lead from NRP and McMullen. Onto the brakes, into the hairpin. Everyone, Constantina's up as Keith and everyone else have a bit of contact further back, I think. NRP goes off there and Johnny hits cones flying. We've had TY go off at the hairpin as well. We'll get a replay on that after the first lap, but we're not done yet. NRP loses places there, loses speed onto the straight, and Bidzster goes through into 3rd. There's Keith with Stevie behind him through Knickerbrook, and then up to the climb, up Clay Hill towards Druids now. We're almost through a lap already. Incredible as Bidzster then closes up on the back of Johnny, who's attacking his teammate into Druids. Johnny McMullen, a ruthless attacker here. Bidzster right behind him as we go down towards Lodge Corner. All cars get a good run out of Druids. Bradders defending from his teammate, so obviously no intention on letting him go through. And Bradders is going to lead the opening lap here in an LPB Racing Project Cars 2 race. Over the line goes Bradders, he's led a lap of the race. Down towards Old Hall, Johnny and Bidzster go side by side. Johnny defends from Bidzster into Old Hall. That's how you properly do it. And Bidzster gets all crossed up as you go out the corner, but luckily just recovers it. NRP will be rubbing his hands here, ready to go through. Down towards Cascades. Johnny McMullen still behind Bradders here. Everyone else close together, but no major battles yet. Keith off in the background. Keith goes off in the background, he's off into the wall as McMullen has to go at Bradders, but Bradders runs too wide into the corner and Bidzster tries to take advantage here. Bidzster tries to take advantage and Johnny comes across on him. Oh, he's tapping him, he's hitting him, he's just tapping the front end of Bidzster's car, and Bidzster not like that. Down towards Knickerbrook, Johnny strikes again with the ruthless defence. So just while we get a little break in proceedings, we'll get a replay on those first lap actions for you now. Okay, here's a replay of the start of something that we missed at the start of the race. Watch Stevie and Keith into the corner. Stevie goes up the inside and then just bang, hits Keith, but ends up taking himself off. So that was a bit of drama that happened. Okay, here's a replay what happened at the hairpin then with TY on the brakes, and we see Keith slow down. We all Constantina up, and TY has to slow right down, and Neil can't slow down in time and hits TY into the wall. That was not intentional by Neil, and TY gets on with it as they all Constantina up. That was a racing incident, and TY resumes in 10th place. Okay, here's a replay what happened to Keith then. So he comes through Cascades and then goes onto the grass and just loses the back end of the car, and around we go into the wall. As we come back from that, Bidzster and Johnny nose to tail as you go up the hill towards Druids. Bidzster versus Johnny McMullen in towards Druids we go. Bidzster goes for the cutback, can't quite do it. Just trying to put Johnny under pressure there. Down towards Lodge Corner, down the descent. Got a brake here, be careful on your brakes. Down towards the corner, here we go. Johnny defends slightly. Bidzster gets a good run into the corner, but has to break through it. And then onto the straight, gets a good run. And he's trying to go alongside him, but McMullen's putting him towards the pit wall. He's actually trying to put Bidzster into the pit wall. Again, not good driving there from McMullen, as Bidzster then gets rattled by that and then almost misses his braking point. But McMullen there, Bidzster had a run to go alongside him, and he was just chopping him off. As NRP and Bidzster go side by side, and Bidzster takes that back. As Bidzster pushing now, angry at that move by McMullen. We'll get a quick replay on that for you as well now. Okay, here's a replay on board with Bidzster to watch the McMullen into the wall move as we go. See, we get a good run. We're coming alongside him. McMullen just keeps coming across. Bang! Hits us again, and then hits us again towards the wall. And Bidzster finally has to fold in, and then hits McMullen under braking there into the next corner. But McMullen was not on there to be doing that. That was very unclean. Let's have a look a bit further back down the field. We've got Video there in 7th. He's on his own in 7th place. We've got Neil and Steve. Oh! Car off ahead. That's Bradders. He's got into the wall after that fantastic start to the race. He buries it in the wall, puts too much power on, I think. Again, we'll just get a quick replay on that also. Okay, here's a replay on Bowen Neil Farmack. So what happened to Bradders. So goes into the corner. And watch, here we go. Gets the power on and just spins himself out and into the wall. Very unlucky there for Bradders. Back to the battle up front. Bidzster's right behind McMullen again. He's got the red mist. He's really pushing here. Trying to get past McMullen best he can. Down into Druid's corner. No defence from McMullen yet because Bidzster's not close enough, but he's using the curbs. Proper touring car style driving here from Bidzster. Clean touring car style. And down towards Lodge. Into Lodge. I think McMullen ran a little bit deep there. I think he did. Bidzster gets a good run. He's trying to move again. This time he's alongside and onto the straight, and McMullen hits him again. Comes across and hits him into on the straight. There's more contact between the front two, and McMullen comes across on Bidzster there, and Bidzster goes ahead into the lead. But he'll not be happy with those moves there by McMullen, just coming across on him on the straight, not leaving him any sort of racing room whatsoever. I'm not asking for an acre, I'm asking for at least a couple of feet just to make sure that we can run side by side, or maybe a couple of inches maybe, but not getting any of that. But Bidzster then takes the lead from McMullen as McMullen goes into the hairpin and out of it, trying to chase down Bidzster, who's pulling away already. Stevie into the... Oh, Stevie... Neil runs wide, sorry, Neil runs wide. And Stevie looks like he's going to get a good run here down towards Knickerbrook, trying to go down the inside. Neil Farmack on the outside, Stevie looking up the inside, brakes late. Neil gives him room, but just to make sure he can stop the car. But Stevie sensibly doesn't bother to go for it. Again, he knows the time and he knows the place. Something that McMullen doesn't have really, but Blakeney then in 7th, he's going up the hill. And Keith and TY are close at the back, but TY's had a horrible start to this race as he had that instant at the hairpin on the first lap. But meanwhile, McMullen trying to catch up to Bidzster here as the camera goes funny. There we go. McMullen trying to catch Bidzster up here as we go over the line. And 120.4 for Bidzster, 20.8 for McMullen that time round. Remember that was, there was a little bit of contact on the straight the lap before. McMullen trying to push hard to catch him, but Bidzster's a hard person to pass, and especially when he's wound up and he's angry, he's definitely even harder to pass. Stevie goes into the Cascades with Neil in front. So Neil trying to hold off the attack from Stevie here as we go through Cascades down towards the hairpin. So down towards the island hairpin we go. Stevie's trying to catch up a little bit there. Into the brakes. Neil looks like he's going to run a bit wide there. He does, runs a bit wide, but sometimes running wide you can benefit from a good V-shaped line. So if you imagine the letter V into a corner rather than running around like a U-shape, you do a V-shape. And then you get the power on, you slow down on the apex, but you get the power down for the exit and you can propel yourself out the corner, which is what Neil Farmack did there. So he made a mistake and then he countered for it and thought, right, let's V-shape this then since we're going to run wide. And then we actually gain a bit of time on Stevie, which gives us a bit more of a cushion. So good job there by Neil Farmack, taking advantage of a mistake and exploiting it the best he can. Good job there, Mr. Farmack. Meanwhile, at the front of the grid, let's have a look at the lap times this time round from Bidzster and McMullen. Bidzster's pulled out a little bit of time on McMullen here. Let's see what the lap times are this time round. Lap 5 on to lap 6. And it's a 1:19.5 for Bidzster and a 1:20.010 for Johnny McMullen. Bidzster half a second faster that lap, and that's the fastest lap of the race. So Bidzster definitely pushing here as he goes through Cascades, pulling away from Johnny McMullen with every wheel turn. And Mr. Farmack here is in 4th place still, and NRP's a good 3rd, I should mention that as well. NRP just ahead there in a fantastic 3rd position. He's going to take some fantastic points home from this round. As I mentioned at the end of each video, we've got double points awarded for some people at each track, because each person picked their own race to have double points before we started these races. So we'll see what points people come home with in this one at the end of the race. We'll leave that as a surprise. Obviously you'll probably know who it is in this one, it's the people that have not had it in the last 3 races. But as we go up the hill, Neil Farmack and Stevie still the same gap. Stevie closing in a little bit there in that section, but Neil Farmack just trying to trump him the best he can. Defence, well, I think that was a defensive line. I think he just got a bit of a wrong line into that corner there, but Stevie runs wide on the exit and that'll help Neil get the time back that he needs. in towards Lodge. Meanwhile, Bidzster a 19.1, 1 minute 19.1 from Bidzster last time round, and a 1:21.7 from Johnny McMullen. So clearly rattled by Bidster's pace, made a mistake last time round, and Bidzster going a lot faster than he thought. So that, guys, my phone just turning itself on, and Siri wanting to join in with the commentary. So Siri joining in with the commentary there as we look at Johnny McMullen there, as we look back to Stevie and Neil, who are 2/10 apart now. Stevie's really closed in on Neil Farmack here as you go down to the hairpin. So Neil, as you go, Neil runs wide this time, properly runs wide, and he has to give room to Stevie on the way out. Goes a bit wide just to give Stevie a bit more room. That's what McMullen should have done in that other race, but Stevie can't quite get the run down the hill to make the move. I don't think he's going to get it done into here unless he's really, really brave on the brakes, but no, Neil holds on to the place. Again, very fair and good racing here, very entertaining as well by Stevie and Neil, showing us all how LPB racing is supposed to be done. So Johnny McMullen, you watch this, you might learn something. As we go into there's Johnny McMullen trying to close in on Bidzster, but not having any luck so far. Bidzster sliding the car out of Lodge, really, really pressing on here. Across the line, a 1:19.9 that time round for Bidzster, 1:20.0 for Johnny. So Bidzster's done the fastest lap, and he's got the gap in. He's just easing off the pace a little bit now, just to try and make sure the car comes home in one piece. Meanwhile, Neil and Stevie still half second apart, as they've been for the majority of this race. Meanwhile, Video and Blake are still close at the back. Well, Video, Blake and Bradders all within a second of each other. There they are, all three in shot there. There's Video leading the pack of those cars. So Video through Old Hall, and then Blakeney as well. And Bradders at the back of that pack. Keith and TY having a horrible race here. Keith coming through towards Lodge, and TY only just coming up towards, out of Knickerbrook up Clay Hill towards Druid. So not a good race here for TY. And Bidzster's only come up to Clay Hill now, so Bidzster could be lapping TY within the next couple of laps. So TY will have to watch his mirrors. Meanwhile, the Neil and Stevie battle still continues, with another 2/10 in the favour of Neil Farmax, just trying to pull out the gap again in that sector. He managed to pull it out, and Stevie always manages to sort of come back towards sector 1 time. And they're actually catching up. NRP, who's made a mistake, I think. NRP 1:21.2 last time round, so makes a mistake there that last lap. And NRP goes, he's still in the same position in third, but just moves back towards Neil Farmack and Stevie there. So NRP losing a bit of ground there, so podium opportunity for Neil and Stevie looks more likely than previously thought. As you go through Old Hall, nice and clean through there. Meanwhile, further back we've got Blake and Video. Blake's ahead of Video. Blake passes Video there, so Video makes a mistake. Lap times will tell us the story. Blakeney 1:21.2, 1:24 for Video, so a definite mistake there from Video last time round, and Blake takes 6th place. Meanwhile, into the hairpin, Neil Farmack runs wide again. Stevie tries to get up the inside, but again, not enough of a gap to get through. So, well, I don't think it was even close enough to make the move in the first place. I think that's where that extra bit of time helped from Neil Farmack. But all three still close together as you go through Knickerbrook. Stevie still right behind Neil Farmack onto the exit. Stevie's got to be careful running wide there. He could get a penalty gifted to him if he's not too careful. Go out of the corner into Druids, and Neil Farmack then being caught by Stevie. Stevie really fast through this section. Well, he was fast into the corner, but not particularly fast out, and so he can't really get close enough for a run down towards Lodge corner. As we go onto the brakes into Lodge, Neil Farmack slides the car. Stevie gets a good exit. Is he going to be... Now again, Neil gets the car straightened out and gets the power on very well there. So Neil Farmack, he's not very good into the corners on Oulton Park, but he's very fast out of them, and that's what's keeping him ahead of Stevie for the moment. So he's taking advantage of his lines that he knows that he's not very good on the way into the corner. So he thinks, right, okay, let's set it up for the way out, and it works. As Stevie then trying the opposite effect, and not had no luck so far, but still, we've got 2 laps left in this race for him to try and have a go. Meanwhile, Bidzster still lapping in the 19 to 19.9 last time round. Very consistent laps here from Bidzster. He's been in the 19s for the last 4 laps. There's McMullen on a 20.9, 5.5 seconds back. And Bidzster using the aggression and the red mist from earlier and all those other incidents that he's had in this round 4 to his advantage, and channeling it all into his driving. and he's proving it to work. The guy's taking a drink. There's Stevie and Neil Farmack coming up the hill. Still the same gap. In fact, they're a bit closer to NRP than they were before as well. So NRP becoming more and more vulnerable, especially when he gets a bad run out the corner and Neil Farmack closes up, and NRP on the defensive now. Oh, he got straight past and NRP lets them both go through. So he must have got a shortcut penalty from going over the curb on the inside there, and NRP has to let them both go through. So NRP would not have let them go through if it wasn't for that. So NRP gets a penalty and has to let Neil and Stevie go through. So let's see if he can make a comeback on this last lap of the race. Meanwhile, Bidzster further down the road. He's on his last lap, as well as the others, and into the hairpin, drifts his car into the hairpin, and drifts out of the corner. Beautiful line there from Bidzster on his way to a win at Oulton Park. We'll have to see if he can keep hold of it though. Into the hairpin we go for the last time with Neil and Stevie. Neil runs wide again. Stevie hugs the car right to the inside to try and get a good run out the corner, but I've got to be careful not to get a penalty for that. As we go down the straight, but again Neil got a good run out the corner. She's done all before. Neil, he goes wide into that corner, he's lost it! Neil loses it, he's backwards, Stevie has to slow down, and then Neil reverses out of the way, trying to get out of the way, and NRP's given a gift. And Stevie gets recovered, Neil gets recovered, they're still battling, they're still side by side. After you, no, after you, there's no such thing as that with these two. It's, hey, move out of my way. No, you move out of my way. Brilliant stuff there as Stevie goes through then and takes position. But meanwhile, Bidzster with a fantastic win here at Oulton Park pulls out the gap on McMullen and wins the race. Well done to Bidzster, he wins the race. Fantastic win. Johnny McMullen, a second place for him. I won't say well deserved, a second place for him. NRP in third position there, and Stevie and Neil are still not done. They're still not done towards the line, and Neil takes Stevie on the line. We'll get a replay of that action for you now. Okay, here's what happened between Stevie and Neil, going down towards Lodge then, for Neil to get past Stevie into the last corner, and Stevie goes wide, and he spins the car around at the back. The back end overtakes the front, and Neil Farmack says, "Thank you very much, Lee," and takes the position. So as we come back from that then, Blakeney's going to be the next finisher on track. Let's have a look here. Blakeney then coming around the last corner there. As TY spins round, unfortunately, he's going to be last anyway. There's Blake finishing in 6th. Video is going to be 7th. There he is in 7th place, slowing down towards the line. And Bradders is going to be around here in 8th place. And Keith will finish off the 9 with TY being lapped in 10th place. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay, guys, here's the results of that race then. So it's Bidzster who wins the race. Well done to Bidzster. Johnny in 2nd place. 3rd for NRP. 4th for Neil. Stevie in 5th. 6th is Blakeney. 7th is Video. 8th is Bradders. Keith finishes 9th. And TY unfortunately finishes down in 10th place. And now, guys, on to the point standings. It is Bidzster in the lead of the championship on 308 points. Stevie now moves into 2nd, so it's 243. Johnny McMullen on 229. NRP on 214. 210 for Neil Farmack. Blakeney in 6th on 164. 152 for Video in 7th. 8th is George on 127. Keith on 118 in 9th. And 10th is Bradders on 89. Gummy Bear 47. Sarex 43. 42 for TY, and then 14th is Will on 33, Johnny Adam on 18. Into the teams, it is Willpower Racing still in the lead on 341, and the good old boys on 328 in 2nd place, P1 Motorsport 318. Then it is Destruction Derby on 291 and 290 for Push Pass Racing. So as we come back from that then, there is your winner, Bidzster in the orange and blue Porsche there. Well done to Bidzster, on a fantastic win there. Used the red mist to his advantage. And that concludes the special event here at Oulton Park. And we will see you guys next time for round 5, which will be back in the Ginetta Junior Formula Ford Clio and the Ginetta GT4. Back in those cars next time at Snetterton 300 for the championship to resume. We'll see you then, guys. Take care.